Hi guys, today we're doing group anagrams. So we're given an array of strings, strs, and they want us to group the anagrams together, and we can return the answer in any order. So we're given this input array as an example, and they want us to output this array of arrays where we just grouped all of the anagrams together. And for those of you who don't know, an anagram is basically just a word that has the same letters as another word, but they're just rearranged in a different order. So as we can see here, for example, 8, eat, and t all have the same letters in them. They all have A, T, E, but they're just rearranged in a different order in the word. So A, E, T, A, E, T, A, E, T, right? So how we want to do this is we're going to want to loop through our input array strs, and we want to have a unique key that can identify each anagram so that we can quickly check if a word belongs to a certain anagram or not. And so that's going to be done using a hash map. So I'm going to walk us through how we're going to build out this hash map as we go through this strings array, right? So I think the cleanest way to have a key that can quickly identify a certain anagram is to sort each string. So as we go through, so I'll show you. For example, we start with this word eat, right? And so eat sorted is going to be AET. And so we check our map for this key AET and we do not have it. So we're going to add that key. So AET. And then this is going to map to an array of all of the anagrams of this sorted string. So then we're just going to directly add eat into this array here, just like that. And then we're going to move on to t, and then t sorted is AET. So we check our map for this key AET, and we do have it now. So we're just going to add it to this same list. So now we have another anagram. And then tan sorted is ANT. So we check our map for ANT, and we do not have it, so we're going to add that. ANT. And that is going to, we're going to add an empty list here. And then in that empty list, we're going to add tan. So just like that. And then we move on to 8. 8 sorted is AET. And we do have that, so we're going to add that to this list. And then same for the rest of it, right? So nat sorted is ANT. We're going to add that to the ANT list. Oops. Nat, sorry. And then bat sorted is ABT. So we check our map for the key ABT and we do not have it, so we have to add that. ABT. And then that's going to be an empty list where we add bat to it. And then we're at the end of our strings array, so that's it. And this is our built out map. But if you recall, we need to return a list of lists, not a map. So basically what we're going to want to do is then build out a list of all of the values in our map, because it's basically just this part, right? We don't actually care about what the sorted word is. So we're just going to build a list where we put all of these values in the map into the list, just like that. And then this is what we're going to return. And this is in a different order than this, but it doesn't really matter because they said we can return the answer in any order. But basically it's because hash maps don't actually have an order. So like it could be like this order, or the ABT could be first, or whatever. Like there's really no order to hash maps, so this could turn out in any like random order basically. So let's get started. So first we want to build our hash map that we're going to add all of these anagrams to. And it's going to be a string for the key and a list of strings for the value. So like that. And then we want to loop through our string array to build out this map. So And I'm just going to do a for each loop because we're not actually like modifying anything. It's just to build out our hash map. So just like that. Okay. And then now, so as we go through each one, so we start at eat, right? So we'll just use that as an example. So how do we determine if we have this key AET? Well, we need to sort this string. So I think to do that, we're just going to convert it into a char array. Like that. So then this would look like EAT, like that. And then now that we have our char array, we want to sort it. So we're just going to do arrays.sort on this array. And that's going to give us, oops, oh my gosh, AET, like that. But now we need to convert it back into a string to get this key. So string sorted is going to be this array, but as a string. So then that's going to give us AET like that. Okay, now that we have that for the key, we want to check if our map already has this key or not. And if it doesn't, then we're going to add it with an empty array. So just like that. And so that's going to add this key with an empty array afterwards. So then once we have the empty array, don't forget we need to add the actual word into that array list that we just created. So map.get sorted is going to give us the empty array. And then so in the empty array, we want to add this word eat. So dot add, and then we're going to add the original string that we had. Just like that. And so that's going to build out our map now. And it's going to do that for the entire array. So then once we have the map built out, then that's when we need to make our list here. So we're going to build a array list. And we're just going to add all of the map's values into it and then return that list. So let's check that. Okay, so, okay, now for the time and space complexity. So the time is going to be O of n times k log k, where n is the number of strings in strs, and k is the length of each string in strs. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So, well, first let's look at the code, right? So this for loop here, or for each loop, we're iterating through every single string in strs, right? And that is going to be O of n already, just from this for each loop. And then for each of these strings, then we create a char array, which that is going to be O of k, because we need to build out an array for every single character that's in the string. And then we also need to sort the array, which is O of k log k. So then that is going to be O of k log k for every single n, which is how we get this n times k log k. And then the space complexity is just going to be O of n times k. And we have the same variables here, so just like that. Because so our data structures here are this hash map and this list of strings. And the list of strings is smaller than the hash map because it's only the anagrams. So the part we care about more is the hash map here. So let's examine the hash map. So the hash map, we are storing every single. So, okay, let me back up. So worst case, right, every single string in strs is going to be a unique anagram. Where, like, let me give you an example here. Let's say our input is A, B, 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 C, 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 right? And so every single one is a unique anagram in here, where then our map is going to have to store every single unique, every single unique anagram, right? Like that. And so this is like really expensive, where we need to store n, which is the number of strings, but then we also need to store the length of each string in our char array as well, to be able to add that to the map, if that makes sense, right? And so that's how we get this O of n times k. But that's it for this problem. Thank you for watching, and if you found this helpful, please like and subscribe, and let me know what problem I should do next. Thanks, bye.